Peace everyone, Unmask here, and welcome to day 28 of Inktober. We're down to the wire, only a few more days left. I honestly, every live stream, every day for like the past 10 days now, still can't believe it's almost over. Yesterday's prompt was coat, so I'm going to start by sharing all the lovely work that you guys turned in for that prompt. And today's prompt is ride, which is a fun one. That could certainly be interpreted. Why does that sound wrong? I know it's right, but it sounds wrong. Many different ways. So I look forward to seeing what you submit for today's prompt. So make sure you don't forget to do that. Hello, Mindy, Stacy, Noelani. I promise I won't forget your name today. Sneaks and Gabriella, good to see everyone. Let's see, is the artwork done yet? Nope, not yet. Okay, there we go. So today I am drawing my nephew, Christian, and my sister, Cece. Many of you know Cece in the chat. She pops in every now and again. I'm hoping she shows up today. I should message her on Facebook and tell her that I'm streaming right now. But she could be working. But yeah. Anyways, that is who I'm going to be working on. I was watching a TV show before the live stream, and I really kind of procrastinated preparing for the live stream. I only started getting ready like 10 minutes ago, and that included my initial sketch. So basically I have like the bare minimum of scribbling laid down just so that I know the pose that I'm going to put these two goofballs, because I swear they're the two goofiest people I know, and I love them to death. My nephew, he will say the most ridiculous off-the-wall stuff. My wife calls him Eggs Biscuits because when my wife and we visited last year. Hello, Marcy. Oyas Mishra. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I could totally be wrong there. Danny, Gila. Good to see all of you. When my wife and we were visiting last year, we were in the store. I forget what we were looking for, but my wife wandered off with Christian, and they were in, I think, the baking aisle, and he saw a box that was a box of biscuits, and I think on the box it said you needed like 2 eggs, and from that point forward, all he would say is Eggs Biscuits. That's all he would say. And my wife eventually, she just kept saying it too. If you think I'm awkward with kids, my wife is extra awkward with kids. I look like a professional when it comes to kids when my wife is around. Yeah, he just says goofy off-the-wall stuff, and I love him to death for it. But yeah, so that's who I'm going to be drawing today. My sister is equally as goofy. Oh, hey there, Sandri. Good to see you. Anyways, I hope you guys had a really good weekend, and hopefully you didn't miss the live streams too much. Because I know Saturday I did my live stream pretty early. Friday I did my live stream real early too, but Sunday I did a little bit later, so that a few new people could join in. So I'm going to be adding Cece and Christian, right up here, right beside Gabriella. And my sister. So one thing you got to know about my sister, aside from the fact that she's just the goofiest person in the world, and she will never grow up, is that when you take pictures with my sister, she will always make a weird face. It's like as soon as you bring a camera out, and as soon as you like count down from 3 or whatever, she just makes a new goofy face. So I'm going to give her the goofiest face that I can manage on her chibi here. And of course, she's goofing off with the #1 goof of all, my nephew Christian. And he has the craziest laugh too. I look forward to seeing both of them when I go back to the States, which will be in just a few weeks, actually. Actually, like almost exactly 2 weeks. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sandri. I hope you feel better. Oh, hey there, Tatiana. I drew you and Andre yesterday. I saw Andre's comment thanking me for drawing you two. So if he's sitting there watching, you're welcome, Andre. I can't remember if I responded yet. I was going to, but I was working this morning. I'm finally putting together a new tutorial. Anyways, I'm working. Was working on the script like all morning, and then I recorded some of it not too long ago. I still have my camera sitting out, actually. I don't like that. That's not working. If you've ever looked at a face from like this direction, like looking up at a face, it looks so weird. And trying to create that is very, very difficult. I'm just trying to get my sister's her essence of goofy faces. It's very tough. I'm giving her small pupils and like a pushed out lips. I hope that's what that looks like. Oh, hey, Cece. And Maciej, dzień dobry. Dzień dobry. There we go. Now I need a hand. Gotta fix the nose a little bit. Yeah, I'm giving her a duck face. I can assure you that a duck face is the least goofy face that she makes when taking her picture. Oh, good morning, Tina. All right, I think that sketch is pretty good. I don't know. I don't quite have the hair right. I think it comes down more across the eyebrow there. And this pupil is a little off. So here and here-ish. No, it's still off. Why is this so hard? Gosh, the faces from this angle are my worst nightmare. I think this eye is just off. Of course, eyes from this angle always look off. There, I think that's better. Maybe I can simplify the nose. I think the nose is too complex looking. Maybe I don't need to do a nose. No, I think maybe the mouth is too high. Gosh, so much. No, that doesn't work. I was not sure if I was going to try to do the face like this, where you're looking up at it, but as you can see, I decided against, or I decided to give it a try. I think that's better. And then maybe for the nose, I'll just do a shadow like that. Oh gosh. Yeah, I think that works actually. I think that works. Does it fit here? Yeah, it does. It does fit there. Just like this, I guess. I don't know if you guys can't really see it, but I don't really want to hide too much of Christian's face with Gabriella's hoodie here. Alright, I gotta erase this, or lighten the lines and just re-sketch things. Kind of get the final sketch. Oh, you're welcome, Tina. Yeah, glad to stream a little bit later. I personally, I'm not a huge fan of streaming in the morning. I don't feel like I've I get mentally prepared when I do it in the morning. I prefer the afternoons. After lunchtime, I usually have renewed energy to do the live streams. Okie dokie. That looks a little bit better. Just get his hairline a bit straighter, I think. Alrighty. Do you guys have any topics? Anything you wanna talk about today? Goodness, I don't even know. I finished reading the Stephen King novel, the Institute. It was okay. I mean, I don't know if I'd recommend it to anybody, but I mean, it was an okay book. There was, like I said, during a few other streams, there was parts in the book that were kind of slow. Like they were tough to get through. But then there was parts in the book that were pretty exciting. But the real excitement kind of waited all the way till the end, which can be tough to wait for, really. But it was a pretty decent book. Do I think he takes too long to develop characters? Really, that wasn't really the case. When he introduces the kid, gosh, can I even remember his name? I have way too many names I have to remember. It's just not fair. Gosh, I can't. I mean, 90% of the book is this kid's name. I can't remember it, but the kid genius. I didn't feel like he wasted any time kind of developing that character and you getting to know the character's personality and all of that. And then the other, like, somewhat main character, Tim, I really liked the way his character was developed, and yeah, I mean, I didn't feel that. It was just kind of like parts in the story that gave you somewhat of unnecessary information. Like I felt like there was a lot of information in the book that I was like, I don't feel like we need to know this. It kind of felt like it was longer than it needed to be. But I mean, it was still good. It was still a good book. Don't get me wrong. Just there's some slow sections. Now I am, the book I'm reading now is Dr. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. And so far it's very interesting. Though I expected it to be. Let's see. Have I ever read Stephen King's Dark Tower? No. This is the first Stephen King book that I ever read. I've watched a couple movies based off of his books, but I never actually even thought about reading his books, to be honest with you. I don't really know why. I don't really know why. I mean, I didn't start reading books until I was an adult. If you can call 19 an adult. But most of what I always read was nonfiction. So I didn't read stories. I just read nonfiction stuff, mostly history and psychology. Those were my go-to books, go-to types of books when I did start reading. Just saw your hyperrealism drawing, so good. How would you describe the whole process and experience? That's a good question. And for those of you that might not know what Evalo is referring to, talking about this drawing here that I just recently completed. It was a real learning experience. I'll tell you. Like, first thing, I used polychromos on that drawing, and I never really liked using polychromos, but since I started that project and I've been kind of working with them more, I've used them in several other projects over on Patreon also. I've really kind of grown to understand how they work, and I like them. I actually like them a lot. And the other thing that I did with that project that I'd never done before is I only blended with a blending stump. I did not use solvent or anything other than just a blending stump. So my layering process was completely different than what I've ever done on any other project to date. And the reason I took that route is because I wanted to try. Well, I was going for photorealism. That was my goal, and the method in which I normally draw, I just don't think that photorealism can be an evolution of that method that I always used, that I kind of just learned to use or whatever. And so I had to kind of reevaluate my just coloring process in general in order to try that project. And not using solvent and just a different layering method in general. Very, very slow, extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? Not extremely precise, extremely slow and delicate. That's the word I'm looking for. Just extremely slow and delicate was my coloring process. I mean, just the one eye, just the right eye. And when I mean the eye, I mean the iris and the sclera, took 4 hours. I think I saw the question, how many hours? Yeah, Tatiana asked that. So I spent around 100 hours. I didn't time it exactly, but around 100 hours to color that. Over the span of the last month, whenever it was that I started that project. I don't actually remember the exact day, but yeah. Another cool thing, I shared that picture on Reddit, the drawing subreddit, and it made it to the top It made it to the top of the drawing subreddit, which has like 1.5, almost 2 million Redditors or subscribers or something like that. And yeah, so a lot of people really liked it. I mean, I really like it. I haven't yet taken it down off my wall. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it, because I kind of want to hang it up. I'm really quite proud of the project, because I never really thought that I was. Well, let me rephrase that. I always assumed that if I wanted to do photorealism that I could, but I think I forced myself or convinced myself that I truly thought that, because I wanted to believe that it was true, and I just chose not to try it. And so I finally was like, I have to know. Like I have to know if I really am able to do photorealism. Because photorealism is a little bit of a camera trick. When you do photorealism, you have to work larger than what the smallest detail actually is. So whatever the smallest detail is, you need to be able to replicate that with the size of the tip of the pencil. That's the secret. And some details, like the thickness of a hair, for instance, the eyelashes. If you can't get small enough with the tip of your pencil, then you have to scale up. It's just that easy. And then when you take a photo of it and share it on the internet, inevitably, then the drawing looks like a photo. I mean, in person from this distance, it's about half a meter away from me right now. It still looks like a photo. But if you hold it in your hands and examine it, or zoom in on a high reference photo, you can tell it's a drawing. And you can do that with any photo real picture or whatnot. Because the trick is to just work large enough that you can recreate the details so that when it's scaled down, it looks very photo-like. I probably missed like a billion questions. Hold on a second. Marcy, you have an extra copy of the 8? Okay. Yeah, you can mail it to me. I'd love that. I'd love to have another book. I have a stack of books over there right now with all the Dan Brown books that my wife and I read. You message me on Facebook and I'll give you an address to send it to. Let's see. That is a piece you can be incredibly proud of for lots of reason. Oh, thank you, Sneaks. Yeah, I am really proud of it. It's certainly a big chapter in a very, very long book of the history of my art. Because I've been thinking about it a lot the past couple days after I finished it, and I was thinking, man, could I potentially get more into like the photorealism stuff? Because people had such a strong reaction to it. Some people hated the title. Well, the title on Reddit was just my first attempt at photorealism, because that's the first time I tried photorealism. A lot of people took that the wrong way, but most of the people were positive about it, and it had such a good reaction that I was like, man, maybe I should just do photorealism. But I don't know if I can, because I like the the arty side, the looser style stuff, and yeah, it's just, I don't know. Do I enjoy the It movie? I don't watch horror movies, and I never saw it. I'm not a huge fan of horror movies. It deserves to be framed and hung. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 100 hours. Does it make it your most expensive drawing per square inch? I don't think so. I mean, it's so small. I, I, I don't think. I mean, my prices are always just random and pulled out of thin air anyway. So I don't know if somebody on Reddit actually offered to buy it, but I don't even, one, I'm not selling it, and two, I don't know what price I would give it. Probably like eight or 900 is the price that I would give it a price if I were to be in the mood to sell it. I won't be in the mood to sell it anytime soon. There's some drawings that they're milestones. This one here is a big milestone for me, and I can't part with my milestone pieces because they just represent too big of a chapter. Because for me, my art is like a journal. When I look back at my work that I pile up in my drawers and some of the stuff that my sister has, it just takes me back to the exact moment that I drew it. And so it's like reading a journal that you've been writing your entire life. Well, for me, it's been like the past 15 years, but no, even more than that. Like 25 years, 24-ish years. But I have my earliest work that I know my sister Lisa has was from when I was 12. So it's 18 years is the farthest back I can go, unfortunately. She has my first and only book, The Skateboard Scamper. At least I hope she still has it. I'm pretty sure she does. There's no way she would have gotten rid of it. But there's some drawings and some artwork I wish I had from when I was in first grade. Especially second grade, actually. Maybe not first grade, but for sure second grade. Because I was 6. I was 6 in the second grade, so there's some work there that I wish that I could find. That would be great, because I remember specifically drawing this dinosaur and some other stuff that I wish that I had. Oh, hey there, Andrea. Oh, you know what I realized? I need to give my sister her hugely gauged ears. I'm gonna have to fix that. My sister has fairly large gauged ears, large enough that you could put your finger through them. Oh, hey there, Jules. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else's question. If I did, feel free to ask it again. Sometimes it's hard to stay up to speed with the questions when they come through. There's my sister's huge gauge. Could I talk about how I choose canvases for painting? Sure. I don't choose canvases for painting because I don't paint on canvas. I only paint on panel. I do not like canvas. I don't like painting on texture. So I always paint on wood panel. And that makes my selection process very easy. Because there's a lot of different materials you can paint on. But if you only paint on one, then it makes your selection process pretty easy. Truthfully, I don't really know a lot about canvases. If I knew much of any information, I would be happy to share it with you. But the truth is, since I don't ever paint on canvas, I don't know really anything about it. There's a ton of different brands. I don't really know if there's a huge difference between them. You can make your own canvas, your own stretched canvases, and from what I know, that's a lot cheaper. It takes a few tools to be able to do it, but once you learn how to do it, it's pretty easy. Yeah, but yeah, as far as like brands and stuff, I don't even know if I know a single brand. Oh, hey, what's up, Paulo? Good to see you. Yes, indeed. Almost to the end. Almost to the end of Inktober. Can hardly believe it. Am I still in frame? I'm trying to keep you guys being able to see what I'm drawing. It's so hard because I have to move this paper around constantly in order to just be able to reach the spots I'm inking. Oh, but I almost forgot Christian's nose. I don't know why, but my sister's chibi here reminds me of a character from Futurama because of her goofy face. Her lips, something about her puckered lips that remind me of somebody from Futurama, but I don't know who. Oh, you're gonna miss Inktober, Lily? Oh, don't you worry. I'll be back with some more live streams after Inktober. And then next year we'll start the coloring book live streams. And that will be, I think the coloring book live streams will be even more fun than Inktober. Because I'll still be drawing the family as chibis. Because I don't know if you all heard, but I am gonna commit. I'm officially announcing my commitment to doing the coloring book. But I'm gonna start with 10 pages. Start with 10 pages, and I'll just do a digital coloring book first. So you guys will be able to get it off my website, and then you can just print the pages off as much as you want. Color them a billion times if you feel up for it. And if the digital coloring book does well enough, what I'll do then is add 10 more pages and then make it a physical copy. So you can actually buy the physical copy. Did we miss Nugget's birthday? Inktober, day 2. Inktober, day 2 is Nugget's birthday. We didn't miss it because Inktober. Inktober is just another way of saying Nugget's birthday. What will be my next project? Oh, that's a good. That's a good. It's a good question. My next project is going to be kind of somewhat revamping my Patreon page. And then also it will be the Peaceful Pastels series. And hopefully I can continue working with the sponsorship of Jackson's Art Supply. That's like a huge thing that I want to focus on. As far as my Patreon goes, pretty much going to be keeping everything the same, but I kind of want to boost the student enrollment, I guess you could say, because right now I think I have it open to 5 students, and that's been an okay amount for me to work with without feeling too overwhelmed. And I was thinking about kind of adding more, and then also putting together a short video and just kind of start promoting my Patreon a little bit, because one of the things that I'm just terrible at, because it makes me feel a little like I'm begging when I promote the stuff that I make and my Patreon and things like that. I know that it's not, but it just kind of feels like that to me, and I don't really like to ask for things. So I kind of need to get over that a little bit and just promote my Patreon a bit more, and I wanted to open up more spots for students. And by students, I mean the private art lessons that I offer. There's only one spot available. Usually all the spots are filled up and sold out. Pretty much for like the past 2 years, it's been like that. But so I've been thinking about adding more. And you know, I was talking with a student about like prices for artwork recently, and I was, you know, just kind of explaining like it's really important that you not undervalue your work, because when you undervalue your work too much, you can't ever consider making a living if you are always undervaluing your work. And I was talking about raising my prices for my private lessons, because, you know, right now it's 40, and I was thinking about moving it up, like doubling it, because, you know, I just feel like it's worth that, considering I'm pretty much the only artist that even offers such a thing. So I don't really have any competition there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling now. It's hard to think about these things while I'm inking, because I get lost in my own rambles. Most colorists buy their work on Etsy. Oh, okay, I will have to keep that in mind for the future. I'll probably just end up selling it on my own website, though. I don't like using other sites that take commission for my work. I sent the video of my chibi to my art teacher friends and told them about the Pastel series coming up so they can share with their students. They all liked your chibi. Oh, thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. It's not. It won't be a Pastel series. It will just be a pastel series. Pastels are a very specific kind of pastel. I'll be using regular soft pastel. Yeah, marketing yourself is pretty difficult. I don't necessarily find it like a technical difficulty. Like, I know how to do it. It's just that I don't like to do it because it makes me feel weird. So it's just more of a personal thing than an ability. How many spots? Right now there are 5 spots total, and there is 1 spot available. And for the private classes, like when I make the changes to my Patreon and I change my price for my private lessons, the students that I have now, they're going to be grandfathered in. So they will continue to pay the same price that they are for what they're getting, which is a private art lesson every month. And then when I change it and increase the volume of students that I'm willing to take, the way that it works is that every month you schedule a private class with me, and we'll use I use Google Hangouts, but I might switch that to Skype. I don't know. And we just go through whatever project you're working on and whatever project you want to work on, and whether it's pastels or colored pencils or whatever, you just have like free access to me, like 100% of the time. So throughout the month, you know, before and after our private classes, you can message me on Facebook. All of my students do this. You know, they're working on a project. They're like, hey, what would you do here? And I take the time to answer them every single time. So my students get number one priority as far as like my response time. When they send me a message and I notice it, I respond to whatever it is they're asking. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more insight on it. An Unmask Family Chibi Super Smash would be like the greatest game ever made, Kenny. 100%. I used to love playing Smash Brothers on the GameCube. So it was Super Smash Brothers Brawl for the GameCube. I felt like that one was the best. I have Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo 64 though, and that one's also really fun. But the buttons are a little bit, there's a little bit of a delay. It's not as fast as modern video games. It's a little bit slower. Yeah, that is exactly what I offer on a, and I definitely, I realize it is a bargain. So, what is the Pastel series going to be? Is it going to be something like Inktober where you follow prompts? No, actually, that's a good question. I haven't really talked about the series too much in recent Inktober streams. Cece and Christian are complete, so I'll talk a little bit about the series, and then I'll name everybody, and I'll call it a day. So the Peaceful Pastel series is a series that I'm going to put together in seasons. Season 1 is going to focus on just like the real basic stuff. It's basically going to be a 10-episode season. Anybody would be able to do, even if they don't have an artistic bone in their body. Then episode 2 will build on that. We'll do a sky and maybe some grass. So like 2 subjects. And then the next episode, we might add some trees, or we might add some mountains or something like that. And throughout the season, the projects will just get a little bit more complicated, until finally we reach the end of the season. We just kind of bring it all together and do just kind of a full-fledged landscape, and that will be season 1. And episode 1 so far, just episode 1 is going to be sponsored by Jackson's Art Supply, and they are going to be giving away the set of pastels that I am going to be using throughout season 1. And I'll be using the Jackson's handmade pastels along with the Pan Pastel blending knife, which is this tool right here. And so one lucky viewer of episode 1 will win those pastels. And hopefully, if episode 1 goes well, which I'm really hoping it does, so when I put it out and you guys get to see it for the first time, make sure you share it with all your pastel friends, and all of that. Because if the first episode is able to do well enough to convince Jackson's to sponsor future episodes, I'm hoping that they'll just stay on as a sponsor for the entire season 1. And if they do that, I'm going to be giving away pastels every single episode. That's the plan. And after season 1, I might be getting a little ahead of myself. But after season 1, what I intend to do is add another small set of the Jackson's pastels, because you can buy them in sets of 14, and there's also an option to buy them in a set of 14 where you get to choose the colors. Well, I'm working with Jackson's right now, and I'm seeing if I can get my own set. So the set that I'll be using, I'm hoping they can put that on the website so that you guys can just buy the exact set without having to go through and picking all the colors yourself. I mean, you could totally just pick the colors yourself, but it's less of a hassle if you don't have to, right? So I'm waiting to hear back from them on that. But in the meantime, I do have a link for Jackson's in the description of the live stream. And so if you're looking to buy some art supplies, use my affiliate link in the description, because that would be greatly appreciated. You don't have to pay any extra, and it helps support the channel. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I might be getting a little ahead of myself getting all the way to season 2, but that's what my plan is. The set of pastels for season 1 will just be 14 colors. So the link that I have in the description is to that exact pick your own color set of the Jackson's handmade pastels. And then season 2 will add another 14 colors. So season 2 will have 28 colors. And it's just a good way to build your collection of really good pastels and also not be overwhelmed by a huge color selection in the meantime. When will I launch episode 1? Episode 1, well, I'm still waiting for my supplies to come. I was really hoping to get episode 1 recorded and prepared to air next month. I leave for the United States to visit my family the 14th of next month. I think it's the 14th. I'm pretty sure it is. So that gives me like barely 2 weeks to write and record, edit, and schedule the episode. I really want to be... what I'm going to do is I'm going to premiere the episode. And I want to be able to watch it live with you guys so I can chat with you while it's playing. Yeah, it's going to be tough to do that in 2 weeks. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be really hard. I'm going to do my best, but I can't promise anything. And if I can't get it done before I leave, then I'm going to try my best to get it completed within the first, like, 10 days of December. Something like that. So I'm trying to get it out before the holidays so that it kind of boosts the potential sales of the pastels, because that would look good for me and kind of help convince Jackson's to sponsor future episodes. So yes, that's all the information that I have right now on it. But yeah, I'm super excited about it, and from the chat, it seems like you guys are pretty excited also. So yes. Well, I have a list of the colors beforehand. Yes, absolutely. I will. Yeah. I want to do a promotional video also, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. I might as well just have to do episode 1 and then try to get the other stuff made later on. Anyways, I have to name everybody. You guys asked really great questions at the end of the live stream every time. All right. Lindy, Lily, Anna, Janice, Wendy, Chrissy, me, Nugget, Noodle. No, me, Nugget, Noodle. Yeah. I don't know. I felt like I called myself Nugget. Me, Nugget, Noodle, Steve, Sergio, Desert Prince, Precious, Mayank, Jennifer, Matthew, Kev, Linda, Donna, Sandri, Stefania, Marcy, Joy, Brenda, Joy, Kenny, Barbara, Paulo, Ash, Jessica, Priya, Clover, Shiny, Gabo, Myra, Oksana, Mache, Shell, Mac, Cece, Christian, Gabriella, Gina, Martha, Noelani, Diane, Andre, and Tatiana. So I got everybody's name. Yesterday was a complete fluke, okay? Because I forgot Noelani's name, and then once I forgot Noelani, I forgot Diane, and I was like, I was going crazy. I'm going to do it one more time so you guys also know the names. Okay. Lindy, Lily, Anna, Janice, Wendy, Chrissy, me, Nugget, Noodle, Grandpa Steve, Sergio, Desert Prince, Precious, Mayang, Jennifer, Matthew, Kev, Linda, Donna, Sandri, Stefania, Marcy, Brenda, Joy, Kenny, Barbara, Paulo, Ash, Jessica, Priya, Clover, Shiny, Gobbled, Myra, Oksana, Mache, Shell, Mac, Cece, Christian, Gabriella, Gina, Martha, Noelani, Diane, Andre, Tatiana. All right. I got it. I got everyone. So it's Chandri. So it is Chandri, not Sandri. Okay. Okay. Well, I almost got everybody, but I mispronounced Chandri's name. So now I will pronounce Chandri's name correct for the last 3 days of Inktober. What'd you wait so long to tell me for? All right. Yes, that is going to be it, everyone. I need to make some tasty food because I'm hungry. I hope you had a fun time on the live stream, and I hope you have a fantastic Monday. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Peace.